Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today we're going to discuss Kawasaki engine, liquid cooled, and having coils that are not firing after it's been run for a while. So the question. So the question that was posed by Ed is, he has good luck with his lawnmower with the 600 series. This is a 590, and it's got a different setup in coil systems than your conventional air cooled. Your air cooled, your coil sits on the up against the flywheel, and it picks up an impulse to send down to the spark plugs through the coils. Whereas on a liquid cooled, you still have a pickup, but it's different in that your coils are sitting down here, and it's being fed through the electronics down to that coil, through the coil pack to fire on the plug. So when we first learned of this through you, Ed, our attention pointed towards the coils, because normally if a coil is going to break down, either it goes, or as it gets warm, it starts fluttering and dying off. So if you let it cool down, it will let you fire again. But you're saying that the coils, will run as long as you want on the first time until you shut it off and then try to restart it when she's warm. So there's something else going on there. So the question is, how would you diagnose it, at the shop? How can you eliminate the coils? Well, see, the way the system is set up on your liquid cooled and your coil packs on the Kawasaki's is that actually one side of the coil, you have two wires coming to the coil. You've got a positive and a ground, okay? Now you have a positive that's coming from the electrical harness from the battery. If the key switch turns on, that puts power to the coil on the positive side, okay? And when you start to turn it over, it's feeding from that impulse down through the system into the coils to fire the spark plugs. So what we would do in this case when it comes to diagnosing this engine is we would unhook the positive side of the coil, and then just take and make yourself up, some jumper wires, and you want to go from the positive on this side to the positive on this side. All right, just run one wire from one positive to the positive, and then take and hook another wire to either side of the coil on the positive, and then run this directly right back to the battery. Leave the positives unhooked on both sides with your jumper hook to it, and this going to the battery. What is that going to do? Well, that's going to eliminate everything from the coil. It will eliminate the coil, and it will tell me that there's something else going on behind that system that's keeping that from firing. And you can simply just take and put your spark tester on here and turn it over, and you should see spark if the coils are functioning on both sides, with the positive jumper to the positive, and then from here to the battery. If it starts firing, now we know that it's got to be from this side back, right? And what can it be? Well, on these Kawasaki's, they have on the key switch, it's kind of like a little motherboard, and there's numerous things that can go wrong there. And then down on the lower right hand side, just underneath the hood, there's a fuse panel that also has diodes and stuff there, and fuses. And what can be going on is the coil packs may be perfectly fine. It may be something in the key switch that's getting warm and it's not causing it to have issues while it's running, but the minute you shut it off and then you ask it to fire back up, it's not allowing it. And you could have a bad switch where the switch is getting hot and it's not making contact, feeding these coils on the positive side of the coil so that they can fire from the impulse, if that makes any sense. So that's how we would do it. We diagnose it from putting a jumper from one side to the other side on the positive, and then a jumper from either side of the positive back through to the battery, and then hit the key switch and see if you have fire on those plugs. Good chances are that you're going to probably have fire. If not, now you know the coil is the issue. Whatever reason, something is heating up that coil, but not enough to break it down when it's running, which seems odd to me. So on that note, you guys have a great day, and thanks so much for watching. Hopefully this will help some of you guys figure out how to diagnose some of these Kawasaki issues.